I'm a family law attorney.
And I'm a therapist. I'm Natasha Khazanov, and I have a therapy practice.
Clients come to me, it's usually the end stop most of the time. But when they come to you, it's usually they try to save the marriage or help to better their relationship.
It can be either or.
Right.
Sometimes people come because they are in the fork in the road. Should I leave or should I stay? And then, a lot of times there is the opportunity to help people mend their marriage. I like doing it. When people realize that divorce can be very taxing both emotionally, financially, but also kids, a lot of times when there are child custody disputes can suffer, so people decide to give it another try. And I find it very gratifying to teach people how to negotiate agreements when they disagree. That's the art and science of being happy when your needs are in conflict. You can learn the skills, you can have the tools of negotiating agreements in a way that is peaceful and respectful.
And that's exactly answering my question. How to help people to not get into divorce situation to begin with?
Well, this is a really difficult question, but to me it's not very difficult to answer this question because, in my opinion, in any relationship, it is hard. I always say falling in love is easy, staying in love is not. And what happens, we fall in love and we a lot of times have false hope. I know I did. I got married when I was 19. What do you know, right?
Oh,
in Russia, and it was in my generation, it was not uncommon. So now I'm joking with my son, who is 46, that his dad and I had kids without the adult supervision because we were kids. I was only 22. So at that time, we didn't have the opportunity to really go to a therapist, but I think that when you ask this question, so how do we prevent divorce from happening? Well, we work on our marriages. Once we got married and gave our vows, we really lived them. So there is a therapist, couples counselor, who has this huge following. Her name is Esther Perel. And she's brilliant, and I love her. She's one of my experts in relationships. And she wrote a book about infidelity that is called Mating in Captivity. And another one is State of Affairs. So she talks about really trauma to the relationship where people step out, right? So, and in her interview a couple of years ago, I think in the New York Times, she was asked this question: so what's your working definition of the word love? And she said something like, well, love is a verb. It comes and goes. And a lot of times what we do when we get married, we give wedding vows and we say, I will anticipate every desire you have and I will wipe every tear off your face and stuff like this. I'm just making up, I don't remember exactly.
Right.
And she said, but what we should be saying, and this is brilliant, I will fuck up on the regular basis and occasionally I will apologize for that. So, the thing is, we are not perfect. We are all flawsome. We are flawed and awesome at the same time. But what happens as relationships unfold? So the first stage is, Terry Real, another good couples counselor, is calling it love without knowledge. So we fall in love and we have these romantic ideas and expectations, and a lot of times we fall in love with the person without really knowing them. And then the next stage starts when people disappoint us, when they act in a way that we're like, who is this person? I don't even know this person, right? So Terry Real calls it knowledge without love. And that's when people a lot of times decide, okay, it's too hard, and will divorce. And the last stage, if you do stay together, is, I call it love without fear, when you learn how to be a good negotiator of your needs. Because at the end of the day, there is no person who will always know what you need, right? So if you don't know how to ask for what you want in a way that is peaceful and respectful, how your marriage is supposed to work. So it is the skills that we don't learn as children. What is modeled for us in our parent families, a lot of times we are bound to repeat.